The 1950s were a great time for American cars. Big engines, bold designs, and lots of chrome made these cars stand out. They weren't just for getting around. They were built to impress. From powerful Thunderbirds to massive Cadillacs, these machines had serious style and strength. In this video, we'll look at 10 of the most powerful American cars from the 1950s, the ones that really made an impact. We begin with the 1957 Lincoln Premier, a showstopper that looked more like a space-age yacht on wheels than a continental cruiser. At a massive 224.6 inches long, it even exceeded the footprint of today's Chevy Suburban. Under its hood lay a robust 6.0-liter 368 CI Lincoln Y-Block V8, delivering a steady 300 horsepower at 4,800 RPM, and a commanding 415 pound-foot of torque, enough grunt to move its 4,450 pound frame with purpose. Lincoln claimed the car was made less for racing and more for making an entrance. And the stats back that up. A high compression 10.0 to 1 setup, aluminum pistons, and a 3-speed turbodrive automatic that made this luxury liner impressively swift for its size. Styling was over the top. Quad headlights, a nod to the 1958 trends, jet-like taillights, and chrome that made it glisten under any spotlight. Marketed as a road yacht, the Premier was built to stand out, not sneak by. If you wanted a statement of power and prestige in 1957, this was it. Back in 1955, Chrysler wasn't messing around when they rolled out the C300. This bold two-door hardtop wore a 5.4-liter 331 CI firepower Hemi V8, packed with dual 4-barrel carbs, solid lifter cams, and a race-ready camshaft, all backed by a stout PowerFlight 2-speed automatic. The result? A commanding 300 horsepower at 5,200 RPM and 345 pound-foot of torque at 2,800 RPM. Nearly a horsepower per cubic inch. That power wasn't just for show. The C300 could eclipse 130 miles per hour, hit 0 to 60 in under 10 seconds, and top out around 128-130 miles per hour. Remarkable for a full-size car in that era. It was essentially a NASCAR homologation special, straight from the track to the streets. The C300 dominated the 1955 NASCAR season with minimal modifications. It claimed 37 wins, including top checkered flags at Daytona and Watkins Glen. Limited to just 1,725 units, this beast was built to stand out. Its wide stance, rigid suspension, and throaty exhaust gave it both presence and performance. The 1957 Ford Thunderbird marked the final year of the first-generation personal luxury car. But Ford saved the best for collectors, the F-Code supercharged model. Under its hood sat a 312 CI 5.1-liter Y-Block V8, topped with a Paxton McCulloch centrifugal supercharger and Holley 4-barrel carburetor. That setup boosted output to a factory-rated 300 horsepower at 4,800 RPM and a hefty 439 pound-foot of torque at 2,600 RPM. With a curb weight under 3,400 pounds and a 3-speed manual or automatic, the F-Code Thunderbird could hit 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 6 seconds, blistering performance for its time. It wasn't just fast, it was built to race. Ford produced about 212 F-Codes to qualify the model for NASCAR, and several competed at Daytona in '57. Styling-wise, the '57 T-Bird had sweeping tail fins, prominent grin, and classic chrome accents. Jet-age flair matched to serious performance. Today, only 212 F-Birds carry the rare factory supercharger, making them among the most coveted Thunderbirds ever built. They didn't just cruise, they conquered. The 1958 Cadillac 60 Special Fleetwood was the embodiment of post-war excess. Towering at over 18 feet, 225 inches long, with billowing chrome and jet-inspired tail fins that practically begged for attention. Designed by legendary GM stylist Bill Mitchell, this flagship four-door hardtop rolled on a 133-inch wheelbase and weighed around 4,930 pounds. Beneath the hood, a stout 365 CI 6.0-liter V8 fed by a Carter AFB 4-barrel carb and backed by Hydramatics 4-speed automatic, churned out about 310 horsepower at 4,800 RPM and a hefty 405 pound-foot of torque at 3,100 RPM. Despite its size, it could manage 0 to 60 miles per hour in roughly 11.4 seconds and top out near 117 miles per hour. Impressive for a luxury cruiser of its bulk. Inside, it offered fully powered everything: windows, seats, steering, brakes, and enough insulation to quiet a brass band. Bill Mitchell's dramatic, chrome-heavy styling included shark-like fins and stainless panels that made the car seem larger than life. In 1957, Pontiac completely shook its image with the launch of the first-year Bonneville convertible, a bold move into high-performance territory. Only 630 units were made, one for each dealer, making it instantly exclusive. Under the hood sat that era's cutting-edge Rochester mechanical fuel injection V8, a 345 CI 5.7-liter overhead valve mill, with a 10.25-to-1 compression ratio, packing 315 horsepower at 5,000 RPM, and a muscular 375 pound-foot of torque at 2,800 RPM. This fuel-injected V8 allowed the Bonneville to sprint from 0 to 60 in about 8.1 seconds. Remarkable acceleration for 1957, especially for a convertible weighing roughly 4,300 pounds and sporting generous white walls and sweeping tail fins. It was paired with a smooth Hydra-matic automatic transmission and came fully loaded with power steering, brakes, windows, 8-way power seats, leather upholstery, and even a power top-end antenna. Luxury and performance rolled into one. Named after Utah's legendary salt flats, the Bonneville lived up to its racing roots, offering Corvette-level acceleration and a look designed to turn heads. By 1959, Chevrolet wasn't just redesigning cars, they were making a statement. The all-new Impala was no longer just an upgraded Bel Air. It became its own model, with wild styling that turned heads everywhere it went. Longer, lower, and wider than before. The '59 Impala stood out with its dramatic teardrop rear window and signature cat's eye taillights that looked like they belonged in a sci-fi movie. Love it or hate it, you couldn't ignore it. The real excitement, though, was under the hood, the 348 cubic inch 5.7-liter W-block V8. With a tri-power carb setup, 3 two-barrel Rochester carbs, a special camshaft, and 11.25-to-1 compression, this powertrain delivered up to 335 horsepower at 5,800 RPM. Even the more common turbo thrust variant put out around 300 horsepower, still plenty for that era. Despite weighing about 3,650 pounds, this full-size Impala could hit 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 9 seconds and reach a top speed near 130 miles per hour. That kind of performance, combined with its space-age design and availability in convertible or sports coupe form, helped make the '59 Impala one of Chevrolet's best-selling and most iconic cars of the decade. Launched in 1958 under Ford's bold but doomed Edsel division, the Edsel Citation was intended to fight Cadillac in the luxury lane. This top-tier model, offered in 2- and 4-door hardtops plus a convertible, rode on a long 124-inch wheelbase and stretched nearly 219 inches in length. Its styling screamed showcase, the chrome-drenched bodywork, a distinctive gold anodized cove panel, and Diana's infamous horse collar grille that still polarizes collectors. Under the sculpted hood lay a mighty 410 cubic inch, 6.7-liter Ford Mel V8, officially rated at 345 horsepower with 475 pound-foot of torque thanks to its single 4-barrel carbon reinforced durability. Mated to a 3-speed Cruise-O-Matic automatic, it featured the innovative but quirky Teletouch steering wheel, push-button shifting system as standard. This powertrain, paired with a hefty 4,300 to 4,700 pound curb weight, allowed the Citation to sprint to 60 miles per hour in about 9 to 10 seconds and reach a top speed near 114 miles per hour. Inside, drivers found split-seat vinyl upholstery, power options across the board, and safety touches like lifetime adjusting brakes, seat belts, and child-proof locks. Rare luxury in 1958. Despite its ambition and hardware, the Citation struggled with its styling, crowded pricing, and Edsel's poor public image. With only one model year under its belt and fewer than 10,000 built, it remains a fascinating and collectible piece of 1950s automotive bravado. The 1957 DeSoto Adventurer was DeSoto's top-tier performance flagship, produced only 1,950 two-door hardtops and convertibles, making it exclusive right from the start. Under its hood roared a 345 CI 5.7-liter Hemi V8, equipped with dual Carter 4-barrel carbs, a high-lift camshaft, and sharp 9.5-to-1 compression. The result? A remarkable 345 horsepower, achieving the coveted 1 horsepower per cubic inch milestone as standard. Paired with Chrysler's rugged TorqueFlite 3-speed automatic, the Adventurer sprinted from 0 to 60 in about 7.2 seconds and topped out near 125 to 130 miles per hour. Impressive performance for a nearly 2-ton luxury cruiser. Behind the wheel, you'd feel that Hemi torque around 390 to 400 pound-foot, pushed strongly through the robust rear-wheel drive chassis. Styling was pure forward-looking 1950s flair, courtesy of Virgil Exner. Fins, chrome, and sweeping curves made the Adventurer stand out dramatically, a true parade float in post-war automotive fantasy. The 1957 Chrysler 300C, part of Chrysler's legendary letter series, stood out with a massive 392 cubic inch, 6.4-liter Hemi V8 under the hood. This hemispherical head engine featured dual Carter 4-barrel carburetors, a robust 9.25-to-1 compression, and a 5-bearing crankshaft, delivering 375 horsepower at 5,200 RPM and a stout 420 pound-foot of torque. A rare high-output option, 18 built, bumped output to 390 horsepower with a hotter cam and higher compression. Paired with a sturdy 3-speed TorqueFlite automatic or manual transmission, the 300C sprinted from 0 to 6 miles per hour in about 8 seconds and topped out near 130 miles per hour. Bold numbers for a luxury cruiser in 1957. Its raw performance was proven on the track as well. It set unofficial NASCAR and land speed records, including 145.7 miles per hour average at Chrysler's Chelsea Proving Grounds and 134 miles per hour pass in the Dayton Flying Mile. Inside, you'd find leather seating, power everything, and a ride so smooth it made potholes feel like polite suggestions. Chrysler built 1,918 hardtops and 484 convertibles, making the 300C both rare and collectible. The 1958 Mercury Turnpike Cruiser, especially in its Super Marauder form, was the ultimate statement of 1950s automotive excess. Built on Ford's Big Mel chassis, it offered high-tech features such as retractable breezeway rear windows, seat-o-matic memory seats, and keyboard control push-button transmission, giving it a futuristic feel. But real thunder lurked under the hood. Mercury's engineers unleashed the 430 CI 7.0-liter Super Marauder V8, featuring a triple 2-barrel Holley carb setup and a dual-plane aluminum intake, 10.5-to-1 compression, and standard Merc-O-Matic automatic transmission. This made it the first American factory engine to break the 400 horsepower barrier. Rated at 400 horsepower at 5,200 RPM and a massive 500 pound-foot of torque at 3,200 RPM. Only about 100 Super Marauder-equipped Turnpike cruisers were built in 1958, making these rare land yachts today. Despite tipping the scales at roughly 4,100 pounds, the raw power ensured it could keep pace with more performance-focused models, though its true identity was as a luxurious cruiser with muscle. From luxury cruisers to early muscle legends, each car on this list made history in its own way. These machines weren't just built to drive, they were built to impress. With powerful V8 engines, bold styling, and unforgettable presence, they defined an era of American automotive greatness. Which one stood out to you the most? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more classic car stories.